Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I have no idea where the badass or the gladiator guru is. Why is she not in here? What the hell is going on? Oh my God. There you go. What
Can you hear
happened?
me?
Yeah, what'd you do? You took yourself out?
It's like I was
Oh, that's
removed, and then it said my audio was removed as well.
oh my
I
God.
don't
That is
know.
so okay. So good morning, everyone. Sorry, we had some interesting stuff, or should I say on my end, but my computer decided it needed to update, and it was also being wonky anyway. So I'm like, okay, that's probably fine. Let me restart it. Of course, it did it right before we were supposed to go on, and then a flash comes on from StreamYard before we like actually went into the studio, saying there might be connectivity issues on YouTube, and then as we're going on, of course, Facebook throws us off. So good morning. We're here though. You can't stop us. We're here. Welcome
Nothing
to
can stop me. I'm all the way up.
welcome to Viva Cafe con Leche. I am the badass Buddha Tennessee in the United States. And we are happy for those that are here internationally as well. And who are you, my lovely co-host?
I am La Margarita, your gladiator guru, mi gente. So, like I said, we're up. We're getting things done. Let's make it fantabulous today. It's Tuesday morning. It's the end of the month. New beginnings, new things. I'm excited. Good morning, sister. Tiffany, Leanne,
Yes, and my
Southeast,
sister too. My sister
Gail. Yes,
too.
that's what said
Gail's
Leanne,
on. Kathy's
the
on.
empowering.
Yep. Gail's funny. Gail put that she was on YouTube, and then she's like, but as soon as it goes live, I'm also going to go on Facebook. So we appreciate that. And we appreciate those of you that share, like, follow, subscribe. We want to make this a really fantastic year for Viva. We really want to, we've never really been about the numbers, but we have to, in conversation, we really would like to get to a more massive audience, because we enjoy what we talk about, and we enjoy our tribe, and we want to share you with our massive audience as well, and because you have such great stuff to share, and you're real, and we would love to take this to the next level this year, and really just have a consistent large amount of people watching live, and then an even larger amount watching not live, but we would love to go for live, but we know that it's not always convenient for some people in their time zones. Good morning, Chenille.
Good morning,
Um,
Prima. It's true because when something needs to be heard, because it's truth, it's factual, it doesn't get shared. But when it's anything of just stupidity to make you laugh or to make you not walk in discernment, everybody's sharing bullshit, but they don't share the magic. So let's be part of the magic group. And you send us stuff, we share it forward, and because that's a tribe, right? It's about elevating one another. And I love it. I love Viva Cafe con Leche. Mass is up every Tuesday and Thursday without fail or hesitation. And I just love it. It's an energizer for me. I feel like the energizer buddy in the morning. I think I'm gonna get one of those little fluffy balls just to tape behind me in the morning, just to get going. You can do it. Let's go. Yay. Viva.
oh
Viva.
my God, that's funny.
I mean, if we don't sing our own melody, if we don't dance to our own tune, then what are we doing? We have to get up.
True,
We have
true
to,
that.
it's just always something that we should be gifting ourselves, doing for ourselves, something that's only us. I've always hummed and I never realized it, but my kids would always say, "What's that?" And I never knew what it was. So, and regardless of what I'm doing, I'm humming certain parts. Like when I'm in deep thought, but you know, when I read something about people who hum, don't ask me what the rest is. And I was like, oh my God, that's been me all my life. And then my daughter sent it to me. She goes, Ma, look, this is you since we were little. And you know what? So I've always been on the right path. I've just always purposely taken detours. No mas. And let's get
My
our
little
intentions. And I got
my
this shirt. at the Goodwill like a week and a half ago. It has pockets and it's long and it's big on me on top and then it hugs me on the hips. Story of my life. But I like the way it falls because I can display my granddaughter's tattoo artwork. And so I'm feeling myself today. So let's
Hey,
do our intentions.
that's nice. I got this at the thrift store as well. That's so funny.
Oh, that's
You can't
pretty.
really see it, but it's got because
And
of there's not a good lighting in here today, but it's like a pink and a beige, so it's actually
so
pretty cool.
it's mauve and lace. That's the lace on it.
It's no, it's like a pink and a beige. Yeah, it's lace, but it's like pink and
Uh-huh.
beige. You can't really tell because the lighting's not great in the room. But anyway, uh, yeah. So and I just wanted to say before we do the mantra and the intention, with regard to the humming, my little one would do that. She used to do that all the time when she would eat. She would be humming away, and then actually while she does her homework, she's either humming or she's like making weird sound effects, and it drives us insane sometimes. It drives my sister insane too, and but I said to her, I'm like, you're not paying attention. She goes, but I am. Like she has to always be making like sounds. So I actually preferred the humming because it was a little quieter, but to each his own. So anyway, all right, let's set our intention and we'll do our mantra. All right, so here it is. It is Tuesday. We are in the last week of February. So what's your Tuesday going to be like? What's February 27th going to be like for you today? Let's be intentional. Let's have a purpose. Let's set it. Let's decide how we want to be, how we want to live today. So set your intention either verbally or in your head, or write it down, or all three. And
do it in gratitude. I don't care what it is. I don't care if you're picking your nose today. Do it with gratitude that you have the ability to pick your nose today. That's how simple life is. And I had to say that because Gail, and so am I. That's why audio, because body language is so loud to me. It's unreal. That's why I love to people watch. But the ability to raise your arm, to stick out your finger, and to know exactly what hole to put it in and do what you have to do. We take advantage of the simple pleasures of life, which is movement, because movimiento es vida.
yeah,
Movement is life.
we don't move enough.
So do it all in gratitude.
All right. So let's do our mantra and then let's get busy. So here we go. Say it loud, say it proud. I am a disruptor.
I am a disruptor.
I am unapologetically courageous.
I am unapologetically courageous.
I am spiritually grounded.
I am spiritually grounded.
I am magically orgasmic.
Ole.
And I keep it real.
All day, no doubt.
I want to say something that the day that I wasn't here and Gladiator Guru was running the show, which she did beautifully by herself, by the way, you did the mantra and you ended with, and I walk my truth. And I got to tell you, I like that. I like that better than I keep it real. We've changed that last line. We had it one way, then we went to I keep it real. And for some reason, I feel it's never really flowed.
The original line was you saying you're authentic and me saying I keep it real.
Yes.
And then you chose, you adopted I keep it real.
Yeah, because
so I had to add, so I had to change mine.
Oh,
so one day, no doubt, because you know what? You can doubt whatever around you, but never doubt who you are and never doubt the walk you walk, because it is the walk you chose. So, yeah, so I think we'll change it again. The only thing that's not changeable is the whole mantra, but that little line can always be changed. But thank you for bringing it up.
The reason we changed it was because here we are saying that last line about being authentic, and then how often you say, I can't stand that word. And so in my head, that's why I said, I'm like, maybe we shouldn't have that in the mantra then if you don't like that word. But
What word? Oh, authentic.
Authentic, yeah. But anyway,
I
well, we'll
don't.
see.
I think it was overused. I think the wrong people chose to. The people who were as fake as fuck were
Yeah.
walking around talking about I'm authentic. I keep it real. And so, but then again, that's because I have a problem with that, but that's my personal choice. And as time went on, I realized, people can say the sky is green. I don't care because I'm walking my truth, but just do it over there. I don't need you to be within my peripheral, within my 2 arms distance, please. Because that's my choice, you see. That's the beauty of life, is that you have choices. My choice is to be not around the fake hypocrites. Hola Milagros, ¿cómo está? Buenos días.
All right. So today is actually the last day of the love conversation. Even though February is the love month and we still have one more day, we wanted to utilize that extra day, that leap year day, to talk about leaping, right? And so Thursday's show is Leap to Your Purpose. And this doesn't have to be like a businessy thing, because you hear that a lot, leaping and purpose. But this is just leaping as far as your life is concerned. It's just leap to your purpose. Your purpose could be that you're going to grow a beautiful vegetable garden this season. And maybe your purpose is to provide fresh vegetables to yourself and the people that you love. But and that's part of it. That doesn't have to be only one little purpose. It could be several things. But we're going to talk about that on Thursday. And the main premise of that show is The Alchemist. So bring your book with you on Thursday. And we are going to discuss leaping to your purpose with regards to that storyline. So please make sure you bring your book. If you have not finished reading it, read it quickly. Good morning, Madeline, and good morning, Ana Laura. We're happy that you're here. We haven't seen you in a while.
Ana.
But today is my happily ever after. It's that stuff that's ingrained in us within the movies of, oh, we have to live our, we want our happily ever after, always searching outward for our happily ever after. Not saying that you can't. There's some wonderful love stories out there, but happily ever after is, things happen. I always think of Gladiator Guru with regards to her relationship, her beautiful, fabulous relationship with Eric. And they were such an amazing opposite, but yet cohesive, beautiful bond. And then he was taken away, and the thing is that our ever after is never guaranteed with that quote person, like that idyllic type of relationship. The only one is with ourselves. So the happily ever after really needs to be us, because that means that we can go into the world no matter what happens. So if you do find that beautiful mate, if we do increase the relationship with our, become, what's the word I'm looking for? If the relationship with our children and our friends becomes even more beautiful, it grows, there's still things that can happen. People do pass away. People move out of your life, and sometimes not in a negative reason. They just disappear, and that was it. So the happily ever after has to come from us. So today we're talking about love, passion, life, and living. So we're going to be talking about that today, and then we're going to end this week on leaping into your purpose.
Yes, and all that's true. It's your happily ever after. So you have to be the damsel in distress and your own super fucking hero at the same time.
Yes.
If you can't do that for yourself, then lose the expectations that someone's going to swoop in and handle that for you. That is such something that we can't say it enough. You are your beginning. I believe in Yahweh. So the I am within the I am is He who is greater than me. So therefore, I'm going to value the life that He breathes into me every single day. Am I to say, oh, I'm a Christian? Oh my God, I fought way down the mountainside every day. Sin, sin. But my love for Him, it's everlasting, it's never ending, which then propels me to have this belief in myself that I'm going to attract all types of negativity because I walk in my truth. and I walk in my light. And I have the light because I live in my faith. So we're going to be facing obstacles. We're going to be betrayed by friends. We're going to be abandoned by loved ones. All of that is going to happen to us. But guess who's never going to leave you? Guess who would never abandon you, betray you,
Well, hopefully, because
throw
we,
you away? Yourself.
but
And
we have.
but if you do that to yourself, then don't complain about anybody else. And that's me talking my talk right now.
Yeah, but that's the
Because
truth. It's the truth. Yeah.
yes,
Um, can I just interrupt you, and I want to just point something out, okay? Tribe, I'm going to ask you a favor. This is why we are here, and this is why you are here. I want to just point out, not that I'm putting her on the spot, but we love the honesty of our tribe. Anna hasn't been here in a while, and she says she's been lost fighting her battles, but alive and still striving. So, tribe, can you please put in your comments and send lots of love to Anna and say we're happy that you're here, because
yes.
this happens. We see this a lot with people where they'll be here, then they'll fall off, and then they'll come back. And we're not ever the type of person to go, oh, where have you been? Where you haven't been here in a long time. We are not those people, because there's reasons. Life gets in the way. Shit happens. It's whatever, or your schedule changed, or this or that, or you went on vacation or whatever, and then you lost your rhythm, but you're back. And the point being is that when we're here all together. We're here, every single one of us is here all together. And I want to also say good morning to Catherine Marie. My friend Bernie is in the house. Good morning, Bernie. But we're here. So we're all happy that you are back, Anna, and anybody else who's been struggling and going through stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like we don't. We do. Gladiator Guru and I go through stuff all the time. And there's been moments where I've said to her that I really didn't feel like doing the show this morning, like, because I just wasn't really in a great space. It doesn't happen that often, thank goodness. But every so often, and then once we get in here, it's like, what was I talking about? What was I worried?
It's like lying firecrackers up your ass. You know what? You gotta be the 4th of July show. And yes, Anna, I know, I mean, I'm not in Florida right now, but Anna, back in 1998, was my student. And then she became my coworker. And then we became travel buddies. And then we all moved to Florida together. And she is a life connection to me. And we don't see each other all the time, but the love is there. We don't visit each other hardly ever in the last several years. But when there was a need, when there was something, we showed up. When I launched when I did a soiree, the first time I went to Spain right after Eric died, Anna showed up and spent the night. And let me tell you, and those are the connections you need. Friends don't have to connect every day. Friends don't have to see each other every day. Friends is, I love you. I see you. I know you're there. Life has taken us on different journeys. But if you need me, contact me. I'm showing up. And that's how it is. So, te quiero mucho y se te quiere de gratis. Oh, Pirizza's here. And you're right. And thank you, everybody, for throwing that white light towards Anna. Because fairy tales, Madeline, are fairy tales. And the fairy tales that we were force fed in our childhood, and then we thought, oh, let's do it to our own kids. There were horror stories. There are folktale horror stories that they decided to make into children's fairy tales. So there is no fairy tale. There is no happily ever after. Just walking in your truth, living the best you can in gratitude, being kind to people you come across, gifting smiles and hugs, being generous and graceful towards yourself so that you know how it feels and you don't hesitate on sharing that. And then we're born, and sometimes we leave a great mark, or sometimes we've built up a great family, and that's our legacy. And then we return back to the spirit world. And it's what you do with the time you have that matters. It's not what you've accumulated, what accolades you won. It's what did you do with the time you had when it comes to loving those that you were gifted. Because why didn't you meet Let's just throw it out there. Who? Queen Elizabeth. Why didn't we meet her? Because she wasn't supposed to be in
I'm
this
okay with
lifetime.
that.
I know.
I don't want to
So
curtsy. I don't like curtsying to people.
you don't meet people by accident. They were there for either you to teach them, for them to teach you, or just to simply love. And
Right.
once we realize that these people that we get angry and that we claim to hate or that we love with such passions that we get blinded of reality, they were meant to be in our lives. Now it's up to you to sit down and observe your life and pinpoint certain areas and who was there and who wasn't, and how do I feel when I'm around this person? Because you're either um, successful in your meet or you're learning. There's no failure. You're either thriving or you're learning. There's no failure. The only failure is you believing that you failed or that you deserve better or that woe is me. That's your only failure, is you believing something that's not true.
Well, I mean,
Go ahead.
technically that is a failure because you're failing to thrive. You know, we usually use that term with children, like babies, but we never really talk about our failure to thrive as adults. But we choose to. You know, we don't think we choose to, but we do. Getting back to what Gladiator Guru was talking about, we were talking about, you know, the happily ever after. You know, here's the interesting thing is that both Gladiator Guru and I we talk about this. We are both avid, like we are hopeless romantic, not hopeless, we are hopeful romantics. And we love the romance. We love stories like that. And I love a good movie with that. I love the good movie with the happily ever after. But here's the difference in me now. I look at it as joyful, happy, gives me that good butterfly feeling in my stomach. I get weepy because I love to cry. I love to cry for stuff like that. But I don't walk away from that and get depressed and go, God, I wish I had that, blah, blah, blah. I look at it and go, that's beautiful. And if that could happen, that would be wonderful. And if that could happen to me, that'd be even better. I'd be happy. So the difference is that I go out with a different viewpoint because I'm a different person, because I've decided to fall in love with myself. I decided to give myself the happily ever after, and anybody else who comes into my world can enjoy the happily ever after with me. But as long as they're on their own happily ever after and they're not relying on me for their happily ever after, and I'm not going to rely on them because I've done that and it doesn't work. And so when Gladiator was using such beautiful words, which is what we're talking about today. You see, I'm like a conductor this morning. I had my Cafe Bustelo, and when I'm standing up, I move a lot more, you know. But we're talking about words like love, passion, life, living. So I got some definitions from Merriam-Webster, and I'm just gonna lay them out. I'm just gonna read it, and I want you to hear some of the interesting words that come out, because a lot of these words are very powerful and we don't really sit and let them sink in.
Mm-hmm.
So with regards to love, to hold dear, cherish, to feel a lover's passion, devotion, or tenderness for, caress, to fondle and amorously, to copulate, to like or desire actively, to take pleasure in. Now, those are all outside sources, but we know we can apply them to ourselves. Yes, even to fondle amorously, we could do that to ourselves. So that works. You know, we've had conversation on masturbation before. All right. The last sentence though is to thrive in. That's such a beautiful word. It's love allows us to thrive, right? Because we know that if we don't have love, if we don't have self-love, we don't thrive. If we don't have love, because you do need outside, we need connections to people, we don't thrive. Children who are in the NICU, the reason they're not doing well, they learned years ago, decades ago, that when they're in there, they don't do well. But when people come and sit and hold the babies, and swap out and hold the babies, they thrive. Okay. Passion. is an emotion. Emotions are distinguished from reason, the study of intense driving or overmastering feeling or conviction. And passion can be an outbreak of anger, right? It's just a massive feeling. Ardent affection, like love. A sexual desire, a strong like or desire for or devotion to some activity, object, or concept. This is all passion. A look of an object of desire or deep interest. Life is a vital or living being. It is spirit. It is a person. It is any living entity, the form of pattern of something existing in reality, the period of duration, useful or popularity of something, the period of, I like this one, the period of existence. Now they say like a subatomic particle, like half-life, but we're talking about the period of existence in general. And then the last definition is living, having life. Living. Are you living? Are we living? Are we having life? No, we're just existing, or are we having life? Active functioning, exhibiting the life or motion of nature, full of life or vigor, true to life, vivid. And the last one is a noun, and it's one of my favorite sentences, the condition of being alive. And so that's what we're asking of you today. With everything that you've learned so far this month and what you've learned about yourself, are you living your happily ever after? Are you loving yourself? Are you passionate about yourself and your life? Are you living your life, or are you just existing? And it's not meant to make you feel bad if you say, well, I just realized I'm existing. I'm getting depressed about this now. No, it's an awareness. Stop, get off your tush, and live it in any way, shape, or form. You don't have to have a plan. Just get in your damn car and go live it. If you like being outside, get in your damn car and just go someplace that you know is beautiful and walk. Move, though. Remember what Gladiator Guru said? Movement is life. And she said it in Spanish, which sounds so much nicer. But it's the truth. Get your circulation going. Breathe in the air. Look around. Hear things. Immerse yourself in your life. And if you're immersing going, how did I get here? What the hell is going on here? How did I allow this to happen? Look at my life. It really sucks. Then immerse your way out of it. like say, okay, I got to get out of here. This isn't working for me. I don't like this. You know, it was what you created. Got to own it. But that means that you can recreate. You can recreate. If you created your life now, you can recreate it into something else. You're not stuck unless you choose to be.
Well, everything's a choice. Just like and when you're living your life, you know what's existing is when you're constantly falling back into a negative mood or emotional bullshit of something that happened last year or 10 years ago.
Yeah, or 10
that you're not living because
right.
You keep walking back and you keep letting we're so focused on these fucking triggers. Can we believe in glimmers, like the good things that happen in life, and be like, oh shit, that happened? Why are we always being triggered? So are you living your best life, or are you present in your current life? If you're constantly allowing yourself to travel back into misery and be a victim of what someone did to you, no, you're doing this to yourself. That person moved on. You're allowing yourself to walk back and be all up in your feelings because of something that happened, because you want to be a victim, because they did that to you. Well, they did that to you back then. And since then, you have built up that strength to pull up that courage from the deepest, darkest part of yourself. And that's why you're here today. That's what we need to focus on. That's what we need to focus. Anything that's not happening for you, you're plotting against you, because you make the moves. You're the mover and the shaker of your life. So let's get into loving. That list that the badass Buddha just said, beautiful. I was listening. I have a little
distraction.
Yeah, she woke up. But listen to Anna. Anna, thank you. Because we forget, because when we do things from the heart and soul, We don't remember, oh, I did this. I don't keep score. We don't keep score. Anna says, that's correct. I was your student and colleague that turned into friends. I was in a very abusive relationship and you liked my escape plan to Florida. I will forever be thankful to you and Jessica for joining my move and give me that support that I needed.
Yeah.
You know, I think that because you were going through that, we all went through a breakup. That's the year that I left my 13, almost 14-year relationship, my son's father. Jessica left her children's father, and then you, and then we all rented one new hot truck and we moved to Altamont Springs in Orlando. And yeah, and Ana stood there and owns a house and a boat, mi gente. You know, you made it when you own a boat and you can go sailing.
That's
Yeah,
right.
so I love you. And you know, we don't keep score, so we know all I remember is Anita. And I love what you're doing with your mom. So bendiciones to you. I don't know what else was said there.
Oh yeah, I
Gail.
posted up some stuff. So good morning, Wanda. I didn't see my Southern Belle is in the house. Good morning, Wanda. Also too is that I also printed out something from our good friend Tony Robbins. You know, he does have some nice things to say sometimes. And this particular article is 10 ways to find your passion in life. And I want to be careful with this because I've noticed this over the years as being a coach that people get very hung up on finding their passion and their purpose. And when you ask somebody, what's your purpose? They're like, I don't know. Well, what's your passion? I don't know. And then that stresses them out. And so this is why you have to get to know yourself, fall in love with yourself, because it naturally comes into play. Then you honor yourself by being truthful to yourself and saying what really means something to you. You know, like this is my passion and then don't focus on the purpose so much because the purpose will always come to you. You know, people have gone through life and just doing things and going to school and having a career. And then they go into retirement and they're like, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with myself. And then all of a sudden they start doing something and they found their passion and their purpose because they allowed themselves to be open to it. So that's where happiness comes from. Like that's where joy and bliss come from, is when you align yourself with that. The thing is that we're pressured, you know, especially if you're an entrepreneur. Oh, well, if you could make money off your passion and purpose, you're going to be happy and you're going to be abundant and you're going to be making money. Sometimes it's not that easy. Sometimes you could just say, you know, I love what I do. It's not quite my passion and purpose, or it is part of my passion, but it's not everything. So for me, I love what I do, and it is part of my passion and my purpose, but it's part of my bigger purpose. But I also love to garden. I love to, this year we're really hitting hard. We're going to do a massive vegetable garden this year. So that is moving me into my purpose, which is sustainability and teaching people. So I'm excited for that. Like I haven't really pushed myself to do that yet, but it took me to have to sit with myself and really ask myself the deeper questions. So 10 ways to find your passion in life. Number one, shift your perspective. You know, sometimes passion feels unrealistic to people. So change your perspective on it, you know, and make it you, not passion towards somebody else. Make it you. Discover your human need. We have 6 human needs: certainty, significance, variety, love, connection, growth, and contribution. Gladiator Guru is a prime example of the word variety. Because we were just talking about that, you know, she likes this and then she'll move on to this and then she'll move on to this. And a lot of times, if you're like that, or you have children like that, people go, well, that's a bad thing. You're moving from one thing and you're never going to stay on one thing, because these are individuals who their passion relies on variety. It stimulates them. They may go back to it, but right now they need to move in that direction so that it keeps stimulating things. Look to what you love. You know, if you know you love some stuff, start there. See where it leads you. Okay. Notice where you spend your free time. But be careful with this. If you're spending your free time always on social media, looking around at other people's stuff, or, you know, that's the trap. You have to be really careful, because that, unless you are actually part of the progress of it, but you have to be careful with that. Recognize your patterns. Sometimes this is a bad thing. We get stuck in unhealthy habits, but pay attention. Pay attention if your patterns are healthy or not healthy, if they sabotage you, or if they're catapulting you. Use the rocking chair test. I didn't read this one. It says rocking chair test. It says, imagine yourself at 90 years old sitting on the porch in the rocking chair.
I love that one.
What is your biggest regret? What do you wish you had experienced? What passion do you wish you had followed? Who do you want to be? How do you want to be remembered? These are the questions you ask yourself now. Number 7, examine your fears. What scares you? It could be success. That's probably almost as common as just fear of failure, I think. In fact, I think it's more. Get unreasonable. Passion is found in the field of the unreasonable. Directly conflict with what society teaches us. So you have to, you have to decide for you. Fuck what everybody else says or does, or don't worry about that. Think about you. Get out of your comfort zone. We always talk about that. And then something that I thought of Gladys Guru when I read this, cultivate belief in yourself. She's always talking about nurturing, these words, nurturing, cultivate. You can't have a beautiful garden unless you put the effort in. But yet we don't do that with ourselves. We put the effort into so many things with our kids, our grandkids, our job, and then we leave ourselves nothing at the end of the day. We don't buy, we made a great dinner for everybody. We went shopping and picked up this. We thought of this person, and then we get into bed, and what did we do to ourselves? Did we nurture ourselves today? Gladys Guru always talks about how she wakes up in the morning and she gives herself a kiss. Do you do that in the morning? Do you do that at all throughout the day?
Yeah, you have to cultivate. I think I wrote it in one of her badass stories about cultivating trust, self-belief, self-respect, which ultimately leads to self-love. If you don't cultivate your garden, weeds are gonna overthrow it.
Hell yeah.
So, and remember that life isn't about finding yourself. It is about discovering what's already within you.
Nice.
So stop following the masses, because the M is always silent. People want to follow trends. You find yourself following trends, or I'm going to watch this movie because I keep hearing about it. Watch it because you want to watch it. You don't do this, you won't wear that. People will wear that. And my thing is always, if it just because it's in your size don't mean you could wear it. Discover who you were born to be. You're not lost. You just forgot who the fuck you are. And sometimes when you're frustrated because nothing is going your way, it's because you're going the wrong way. So you know what? When something good is about to happen in your life, things are going to get in the way to distract you, to dissuade you.
Yes.
You have to say, this must be for me, because there's a lot of
resistance
energies
going
to prevent it.
Yes.
If you're unsure, then pray on it. And then meditate on it. And listen for the answer. Listen for the directions. Ask for clarity and direction. Because if you believe there's no one here but you, God bless you. If you know that there's some higher power here, whatever you want to name it, invite it into your life, because we are where we are because of lack of, right? So discover who you are. Awake each day knowing that today's going to be better. Believe in yourself that even when you're scared, am I going to do good with this? You still do it, because I did that. The badass Buddha's doing that. And I say, I'm going to be creative, and I have to do some other stuff, but I'm going to work on my crafts. I'm going to create. I'm an artist because I'm a spiritual coach. I'm an artist because I'm a public speaker, especially for women who've been raped. I'm an artist because I paint here and there. I'm an artist because I create jewelry. I'm an artist because I Learned, and I mix with my hands with good energy tea mixes, and I sell teas. I'm an artist because I roast coffee with an incense burning, with jazz playing as I'm dancing in there. And I roast my coffee in serenity now. And guess what? That's why I'm an artist, because I tell you I'm an artist, because I believe that I am an artist. And artists can be anything. It can be the diamonds I put on my forehead.
Yep.
But I have cultivated enough self-trust in myself to know that I will have doubts about myself and my decisions. But then I'm going to come right up behind it and say, I'm doing this. So we went out. We had a celebratory dinner last night, Iritza and I. And then I'm looking at this drink, and it was awful. It was a raspberry espresso. And it was too much liquor, and it was only raspberry around there. It was just not good. But they had a little raspberry in this toothpick, a bamboo toothpick that has like a little knot on top. And I'm looking at it. And whatever hesitation, whatever I had about signing a lease yesterday went. Because I said, if this motherfucker made it rich with a bamboo toothpick that is sold in every bar across the world, holding up that olive or that raspberry, I can create something of value, because I am an artist. I am art. So sometimes we got to look at the little things like that. How many of us have noticed a toothpick holding up a piece of cheese and we just tossed it? Someone thought of that, created it, and became a millionaire because of it, just like the Post-it guy, just like the pool noodle guy. So there's no one above you. There's no one below you. There's just people walking the path with you. So focus on who you are. Know that you are here for a purpose. And your purpose, as the badass Buddha said, it can be a plethora of things. When we choose to only force ourselves to focus on one, we're going to fail. Now, remember, I'm always telling the story about the lighthouse. The lighthouse. Some people are the lighthouse. Let me tell you something. I was thrifting yesterday. Was it yesterday? Day before yesterday. And I came across a book, and I almost cried in the thrift store, because it's about, I didn't even know they had a book. But it's called The Lighthouse Effect. I paid $2 for it at Goodwill. The Lighthouse Effect. And it's everything that I was talking about, how some of us are just born to be the lighthouse person, shining the light to safety and love and warmth to those around us, even those that we don't know, but that need us at that pivotal point in their life. And our purpose was to just be there, shining the light, holding that space. So think about what you do and know that no one can do it like you do it. And if you have any second thoughts, mi gente, walk down the fucking bread aisle in the grocery store. How many choices do you have? It's bread, they say. What difference can it be in them, they say? But there are.
Apparently, yeah.
Same ingredients, it's a different love that was flowing through those hands when they were kneading that bread. It's a different love. That's the different recipe and everything. That if the badass Buddha and I are doing the same thing, it's gonna be different. Same recipe, different energy.
And yet we walk in the same direction. That's the beauty. We're like standing next to each other and waving. Hey, how's it over there? But the Gladiator Guru said something really important. You're going to hit obstacles. And that's kind of sometimes how you know. Like, you have to be careful with this. This is why you have to always check in with yourself. The obstacles are put there for a couple of reasons. Obstacles could be put there to tell you you're going in the wrong direction. They could also be put there to see how much you're willing to push forward. You know, like, how much does this really mean to you? Is it fair that they're two different types of obstacles from the same, universal being? Sometimes it is fair in the end. Okay. But here's what's interesting. The more passion you have, the more love and self-trust that you have, and you say, no, this is where I have to go, but Always make sure that you are connected to your higher power or grounded to yourself. The more you are always staying in check with self, can't just go on the journey and not look at the map ever and just keep walking. You have got to keep yourself guided. As long as you stay connected to yourself and your higher power, this is what's interesting. It gets easier.
Yeah.
Because as you go, then your higher power is saying, well, okay, you are going in the direction you are supposed to be in. And I'm going to start to remove some of these obstacles. Because how many times have you done this? You went against what you were like, no, I got to do it this way. And you did. And you kept going. You kept hitting obstacles, but you were clear. You're like, nope, this is what I want. This is what I want to do. You kept going. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, it all starts coming to you. You know, a lot of people say that's the law of attraction. It is, but it's based on the fact that you are going in the right direction. And
yes,
and sometimes going in the wrong direction can get easier, but it's an illusion, because something will always come crashing down at some point. And that's a good a way of looking at it, to say, oh my God, you know what, all these years I was really going in the wrong direction. What does that mean now? And don't get upset about it. Look at it as you finally woke up to it. You know, it took me years to wake up to my life. And then even then, I still started to veer off, even with what I knew. And now that I'm here, it's interesting, the conversations I've been having with people that I meet, to be so joyful and say, I'm just happy I'm here. I have no idea where this is going, but I'm building something. And the way that people are coming into my life is amazing. I created a meetup group. If you want to join it, it's great. It's called, it's on meetup.com. It's called, I don't even know the name of my group. Isn't that funny? My group is called Mind, Body, Spirit, and Wellness. Okay. So check it out. And I posted a writer's workshop, which we have tomorrow night. It's online. It's writing for mental health and well-being. Mental health and wellness. It's a 90-minute workshop. Okay. I did not advertise this meetup group. I posted it in the end of December, and within a week I had 9 people. Well, now I have, and again, I have not posted anything. Haven't said, one word, okay, about it. We now have, I have 51 members, and I have 30 people signed up for this, 35 people from Meetup signed up for this workshop tomorrow night, and 1 person on Eventbrite. And does that mean 35 will show up? Not necessarily, but the point being is that I said, let's do this. And I'm doing it. Yes, it's part of me getting out there for my business, so people know who I am. They know where I'm located. If they're in the vicinity, maybe they'll start using me. Or maybe not. Maybe they'll just use me online. But my intention was, let's just create this. Let's see how it goes. I've had more engagement through this group than I've had on social media, posting anything on Facebook or Instagram. So, and you know how I've been feeling about Instagram and Facebook. I've been very detached from it because it's just not where I want to be. So I went to Meetup, and it's working for me. And so the point is that it's following the masses. Absolutely. Glad your guru's right. Take the M out and there you go. But here's what you can do. Look at them, observe them, see where the trend is going, see what's the big talk. But then you decide how you fit into that or don't fit into that. You don't have to follow them. You just have to look at them. And it's not saying you don't have to do the trend. It's just saying that if you're going to follow it on your terms, on who you are. Know thyself, know what you're passionate about, know your love, know how you want to live your life. But you look at it from the bigger picture and then say, yeah, that's going to work for me, or no, that's not. People are like, oh, thrifting is really good. Some people really don't like that. I didn't do it for years, and I've discovered it. Even though Gladiator Guru talked about it, she would have all these findings. And I started to say, geez, I really want a scarf like she does. And that's what actually started it. This is so funny, Gladiator Guru, I didn't tell you this. So on Friday, my middle daughter, Karaya, and I went out thrifting because she wanted to go. She loves it. I said, I got to find my scarf because Gladiator Girl always comes back with these great scarves and she wears them. And I want to try doing that because I love them. Plus, you have a bad hair day. You have something to put on.
Yeah.
And I found a couple of really nice scarves, but then I started to look in the clothes and I'm like, boy, this is really nice. This is really nice. And I got excited about it. And then I was excited watching my daughter sift through stuff, like really loving things, you know? So it's created a connection with my daughter. It's something that she and I can share in and do now. And it's inspired me. And now it's become a little passion, you know? So anyway, I know Gladiator Guru's got to go. We've got 4 minutes left. So why don't you finish it up, Gladiator Guru, to what else you want to say? And then
I think
today.
I think today was really great. And I believe that, you know what, when you walk in your truth, that means you're walking in faith. And when you walk in faith, you're trusting Yahweh's process. Not everybody believes and they work out on their own, and that's okay. What we're saying is discover who you are. You're not lost. You're not forgotten. You just have to reach deep and make yourself a priority to discover the amazing love affair you can have with yourself. And that love affair is going to bring forth things that you never knew. You're going to awaken your 5 senses. You're going to see things for the first time. You're going to hear things for the first time. You're going to smell things for the first time. You're going to taste things for the first time. And you're going to feel them. So that apple that you've always had on the kitchen table, in the basket that you've eaten over and over, you're going to really notice it. And you're going to bite into it. And it's just going to tingle your palate like never before. Like you're going to stop chewing, look at it and say, is this an apple? That's when you start the discovery of self. You're going to see things for what they are. You're going to see the beauty in things and not the dirt underneath it.
Yep.
You're going to listen, truly listen to the symphony of the birds singing and not complain how they're up too early and right by your window. I've heard people complain about that, and I just want to punch them in the throat. Because how many people wish they can hear the sound of a bird? So be grateful for the things that you do have, because it is who you are. And then flip that bitch and look at them with glistening eyes. Look at them with love. Look at them like, wow, this concert was sent to my window so that I can wake up in so much gratitude and joy from listening to this symphony. Turn it, flip it. It's your day. It's the day in the life of you. Right?
Gail goes, I laugh every time Gladiator Guru says punch him in the throat.
Because let me tell you, that's my thing.
Oh my God.
Good
Punch
morning, Maria.
That's our sentence for the day. You know what? Just punch him in the throat.
Catherine, discovering
Namaste.
self is very uncomfortable. That's it.
I'm gonna punch you in the throat. Namaste to you. Thank you. Have a good day.
Catherine said something. It says discovering of self is very uncomfortable. All the loyalty, love, and respect that gave others is now redirected to self. I feel every emotion that is not even able to be an emoji. Thank you, ladies, for the highs and lows. Love the month. Let me tell you something, Catherine. To heal, to heal is a tricky little fucker. You're going to feel all this pain. You're going to feel all this, oh, I did that. You're going to be embarrassed by what you've done. But always remember, the operative word here is what you did.
Yes.
Not what you're doing.
Yes.
So relive those moments.
Unless you repeat it.
You can forgive yourself and release. Oh my God, I can't believe I did that. How embarrassing. And then burn the paper, write it down if it was that embarrassing. Burn it, laugh at it. Oh, well, I can't go back and change time. Acknowledge the fact that you can't do nothing about it, but forgive yourself. And laugh at yourself. Because I'm sure they already laughed at you when you did it and you was unaware. Now you're aware. Laugh with it. Laugh at yourself. Like, oh my God, I've come a long way. I was so immature back then. I can't. Do whatever it is you got to take. But healing is not rainbows and unicorn. It is pain. It is pulling off scabs. It is pouring alcohol in the womb, which is something I raise my kids on, believe it or not. People are just too sissies. No wonder their kids are all blah, blah. Pour alcohol in the damn wound. It'll heal quicker.
That's how we were too.
So, love who you are because you survived everything that was sent to destroy you. If that's not another way of looking at your life right now, then I don't know what the hell is. And if you don't want to open up to the possibilities that you're here today because you survived that bullshit, I don't know what to tell you. Take ownership of who you are and where you are today. And if thinking back to everything you gave and didn't receive in return, that person wasn't supposed to pay you back, mama. It's the next person, the total stranger, that's going to do something loving for yourself. But guess what happens? Because you're still stuck on stupid, feeling that one person that you did so much for is supposed to pay you back, you are blocking all your blessings from the strangers that God is sending to you. Be open. Be intentionally grateful that you are alive, which then be open. Because that's right, Maddie. Now, when you let shit go, right? This is you holding on to everybody you did something for and they didn't pay you back, or they didn't love you right, or they abandoned you, or I love them and they hurt me, or whatever. This is you. I just want to live a good life. I just want peace. I just want to enjoy what I have left. But this is you. This is you. How the hell are you going to get anything new when you still have your arms full of bullshit?
Right.
Let it go. Release it. Eliminate it from your soul. And then now your arms are open wide. And you know what they're open up wide for? For you to receive. But only you can do that. Let go of the bullshit. That's right, Anna, because it does drown you. So I am intentionally no longer keeping score. I love me. That's it.
My friend. You gotta go, Gladiator Guru.
I know I do gotta go.
All right, so listen, grab your books. We will see you Thursday for Leap into Your Purpose. Woo! Hi, Mama. We're going to
in her mouth.
Leap into Your Purpose on Thursday. So make sure you have your Alchemist book. Please finish reading it if you haven't already. And so thank you for being here today from the Badass Buddha. Remember, be you, be real, and be extraordinary.
Yes, and all of yous, I love yous all for all your comments. And remember, from the Gladiator Guru, come on, let's do it together. Everybody, if you're driving, don't. Just think you're doing it. Visualize. Breathe in the beauty. And breathe out the bullshit. Namaste.
Namaste. Bye, everyone.